Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Monday. Okay, guys, so we're back to talk about some Vanderpump Rules drama with Tom Sandoval, Ariana Madix, a little bit of Lala Kent, and yeah, it's all happening, except not on this song. So before we jump in, guys, go ahead and pop off in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from, what you're doing. Smash that like button, and also stay tuned. By the end of this video, we are telling you guys how you can win a free rose forever up to a value of almost $800. So yeah, stick around. You don't want to miss that. Let's jump right in.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
Okay, guys, so we've been talking about Vanderpump Rules for quite some time. And just to be honest with you, I'm loving every single week where we are doing our Vanderpump Rules after party. That has been so much fun. And we're doing it again tomorrow with Jason. So you don't want to miss it. But the after party is great. It's always on Up and Adam channel too. Jason just lets loose. And a lot of people keep asking, Adam, why are you not in the video? And I said, I'm not in the video because it doesn't really make sense to me to do a full recap. I ask him questions, but if I do a full recap, then what's the point of teaming up with somebody on my channel the next day to do an actual recap, which this week we have really, really special guests from Access Hollywood. So get ready for that. But let's talk about this first. Thank you to Reality Blurb. Ariana Madix doesn't feel that her living situation with Tom Sandoval is comparable to what Lala Kent went through with her ex-fiance Randall Emmett following their breakup. Now, Lala made it clear that she felt Ariana should vacate her shared home with Sandoval on the latest episode of Vanderpump Rules, citing her past decisions with Randall, and Ariana explained why their situations are not the same. James Kennedy actually took up for her, and Lala kind of explained her stance. Ariana said on the Vanderpump Rules after show on February 6th, again, I own the house. And James said the housing thing is complicated. But according to Lala, it ain't that complicated. Now, Sheena explained that Lala vacated the home that she previously shared with Randall immediately after their breakup. Lala was in a situation where she got out the next day with the baby. That's what Sheena said. And still, since Lala wasn't a co owner of her former home with Randall, Ariana believes their situations were much different. Lala didn't own that house like at all. She was able to pack up her stuff and say goodbye. And Ariana stated, as James said, that sort of changes things. But Lala said it doesn't change anything, actually. Yes, it does because she owns it with Tom. So they were trying to figure that out, is what James said. I think that she was standing her ground like she had Maya there. But Lala went on to say if Ariana were to move out of the home, it wouldn't mean that she was forfeiting her rights to the property. She doesn't lose the home because she decided to move out. That's not how it works. But continuing on about how her and Lala's situations differ, Ariana said that she doesn't have the help that Lala does at her home. My mom and my brother don't live here as people who are going to help me out day to day. She also had the baby that was involved in the situation. And so I understand why she, you know, would want to get Ocean out of there. I'm good. I can take care of myself. I always have and I always will. But when James said that Scandival, after it happened, Tom should have moved out, Lala said that he would not have left, which prompted James to ask why Ariana should have been expected to. She doesn't have to, but don't say you're not leaving because you can't afford it, is what Lala said. And when James suggested that Ariana's money was tied up in the house and that the deals that she was making after Scandival erupted in March 2023, after all of that, Lala slammed the idea as bullshit. Meanwhile, Ariana signaled to the high cost of renting in Los Angeles. This is a very large investment that I've made that I've saved essentially my entire adult life for. I don't know if anybody's heard of Los Angeles rent lately, but I'm going to be with a dog who's 50 pounds and a cat in an apartment. And I'm going to be looking at paying at least what Katie pays. She didn't give an exact figure. But Katie said, you're paying a mortgage. And then for a long time, we were also paying rent for our sandwich shop, something about her. I don't know what kind of money Lala thinks that I have, but it's not really an option. In closing, Lala said that she just wants to see Ariana at peace. At the end of the day, I want to see my friend Ariana be in a good headspace. And she is, but a good headspace also means that you get to go home and that's like your safest space to regroup and revive yourself and everything that she's been doing. You come home to a place that has this energy and his stuff or his dirty dishes. And it's like, I just wanted to know why. And every time I asked that question, it was like, how dare you? But also on the Vanderpump Rules after show, Tom Schwartz applauded Ariana and Sandoval for playing nice during the time that they shared the home. I think it shows some maturity on both of their behalf to be able to do that. When it's just you two in there, you guys are super respectful and mindful of each other's spaces, is what Tom Schwartz said. But wait, always wait. It doesn't stop there. Now, Tom Sandoval, mm-mm-mm. He's also discussing a few things. He shared his thoughts about being banned from Shorts and Sandy's in the wake of his affair. But following the latest episode of the Vanderpump Rules, which featured him setting, like he sat down with James Kennedy, who felt betrayed by the scandal of it all. He explained why he mentioned James' year-old past with Kristen Doty and looked back on his time away from his LA bar. On the February 6th episode of the After Show, Tom suggested that Sandoval was banned. This was Schwartz. Sandoval was banned for just a few months, and Sandoval argued that it was longer than that. I would try to go be there and I would, try to bring people there. And our business partner would be like, well, I'm going to walk out if you come. And I'm like, well, what do I do with this? And that also put a damper on my mood and my motivation of wanting to help out because I'm like, well, then fuck you guys then. I know it would have helped for me to be there, to be a constant reminder of how kind of telling them, like walking them through things. I would have loved to have seen that. And I wanted to. I definitely could have been better on that front for sure. But moving on to face off with James, Sandoval shared what led up to James hooking up with Kristen. He said, James and I were working on music. We had 3 songs that we were working on. We were going to move in together, start a duo, and do music together. And he literally was like a week and a half out of moving in. Chris and I had been broken up for like weeks, and I'm like staying in Sheena's bedroom in the bunk bed. He's at the time living with his brothers and grandma and his mom. So he's like, fuck living in that situation. And I'll just like stay at Tom's apartment and F Kristen. It was crazy. Effing on my bed. I don't know. I found it really cold blooded, and he wasn't even doing it because he was in love with Kristen. According to Sandoval, he believes that James was motivated to strike up a romance with Kristen because it would further his career, potentially landing him a full-time spot on the show and highlighting his career as a DJ. He and Raquel have been broken up for at that point for about 6 months, and he had already gotten a new girlfriend he's more in love with, and he's, than he's ever been in love with in his life. And I know it's fucked up what I did, but my motivation was not to get any further in my career or anything. It was an emotionally driven bad decision. And he was not and Tom said he was not in the best place at the time. I had a lot of pent up resentment towards James from previous years that I have not addressed with him. I've kept it buried, like with Kristen and stuff, and I never really addressed that with him. I just let it go. But meanwhile, in his own segment, James shaded Sandoval for digging up the past. He just tried to bring, it back to my past relationships. We all know what he's talking about. The fact that he's been holding that in his pocket, a 40-year-old mad. It's just sad to me. You bang my ex, so I get to bang your ex. We lived life right for the last 10 years, Tom. And for the last 5 of them, we've been on vacations. Does that mean on the snowboarding trip 2 years ago, you were just imagining effing Raquel the entire time? It's just effing weird to me. It's just like he was always a fucking liar. James then looked back on the moment in which he pissed on his front lawn in retaliation, telling Sandoval, make lemonades with those lemons now. My piss lemons. I don't care, dude, is what Sandoval said. I peed on my bushes. I just think it's funny that he's doing it like a diss. I think it just speaks to James' personality. But also on the Vanderpump Rules after show, Ariana said that Sandoval is beyond the point where he has nothing to stand on anymore. And Katie even highlighted his habit of living in the past. Tom loves to bring out the history books, but I don't live in 2012. I live in, it's 2023. I've learned a lot since then. I've grown a lot since then. And if you want to live back in those days, have at it, but just don't bring that shit up to me or bring that shit into it now. It's so pathetic. It's just a desperate attempt to make himself blameless when he's just not. Boom. I want to hear what you guys think about this, especially the Tom Sandoval of it all. But before you end up popping off in the comments, guys, I want you to literally, in order for you guys to win our free giveaway for Rose Forever, all you have to do is go over anywhere you get your podcast. Let me just share this with you guys really quick. Go anywhere you get your podcast, click on Up and Adam, scroll down, drop a rating, and let us know who you're more in favor of. Lala Kent saying, Ariana, get out of the house, or Ariana being like, no, standing her ground. Honestly, in this one, I'm more in favor of Ariana, but I want to hear your thoughts. Go ahead, pop off in the comments, smash that like button, show some love, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.